Hey folks, Joe DeSanto here. Welcome back. I'm going to be answering a couple questions today about strategies. One, strategies to reduce your fixed expenses, and then two, ways budgeters can lower their variable expenses. All right, so this is a fun video because there are lots of things you can do. So the fixed expenses like, groceries, utilities, car, all that. Let's go through that. So groceries. Where you're buying groceries makes a difference. We've switched to buying a lot of our groceries from Walmart. They offer a lot of organic options now, and it's significantly less than Whole Foods or Publix or whatever. So I recommend people use Walmart and Costco. We also buy stuff from Whole Foods still, certain things we can't get those places, but we try to spread our grocery purchases around to multiple places and they all deliver. So it's pretty easy to do. I also want to say that it's important that for things like aspirin and Tylenol and cold medicine and all that, always buy the generic. Don't buy the name brand. It's the same ingredients in the generic, it's just significantly less expensive. And over time, it will add up to a lot of money. So that's something. Utilities. For power and gas, or power, get an auto thermostat for your HVAC and heating system. You could look into solar. I've looked into it to my house, and because of the size of my roof and the amount of trees I have, it wasn't a home run in terms of reducing the utility bill, but it certainly can be. It has been for other people I know. But don't just go to Tesla for solar. You're going to do get a better price going with a local kind of electrician slash installer. It'll be significantly less to do it that way, but you can still get tax credits and financing. So something to look into, but do your homework and get at least 3 bids on that. You can also shop internet. Recently fiber was brought to my town and I got more faster internet for less money. Shop cell phone plans. I switched from AT&T to Spectrum and saved like $90 a month. There's definitely significant savings out there. But speaking of phones, do not get a new phone every 2 years. They put you on the purchase the phone plan. They make it part of your monthly payment. And essentially what you're doing is you're spending $1,000+ on a phone every 2 years. Buy your phone, keep it for 3 to 4 years, and then buy a new phone. Don't get sucked into getting the new gadget every 2 years. Auto subscriptions for anything and everything. You could use an app like Rocket Mortgage or Truebill and try to reduce what you're not using. Health insurance. You can possibly save money depending on your health usage and how you're getting your health insurance by switching to a lower deductible HSA compatible plan, and then getting an HSA plan where you can put money in for co-pays and out-of-pocket medical expenses, but get a tax deduction for that. So look into, it has to be an HSA qualified plan, which de facto means that it's going to be a higher deductible plan but lower cost. So auto and home insurance, always shop your plans every couple of years. Housing is a big one. If you own a house, actually whether you own or rent, thinking about how home and school interact. If you can live in a place where there's a better school and you avoid having to go to private school, you should factor that into your housing costs. So if you have kids that are going to be going to school soon, or you're thinking about having kids, always think about the schooling reality and how that factors into the overall monthly costs. If you do own a house, you want to, especially now with housing values sometimes going down in certain places, get your housing tax bill assessment looked at. There's a service I found called Ownwell that will do a review and possibly an appeal of your property tax. You also want to make sure that you are signed up for your homestead exemption for your primary residence to make sure that your property tax is going up in as limited a fashion as possible, and making sure the county knows that your house is your homestead is important, so look that up. Talked about school and housing, but also a lot of states have tuition assistance programs for a variety of things, both need-based, if your child has special needs. Some states now do a voucher thing. I'm in Florida. You can get $8,000 from the state to homeschool your kid, send your kid to private school if you want, and so on. We still go to public school because we have really good public schools in our county, and that's, totally free, but we certainly are looking at options there. Consolidate high interest credit card debt into either using your HELOC if you have a house, or perhaps a personal loan. If you can consolidate the debt into a lower interest rate and or longer payment plan, that will reduce your monthly cost. However, caution here, do not do this if you don't know you make more money than you spend in a month, because otherwise you'll just be eventually over time taking on more debt. You have to get your finances in order and know that every month you make more than you spend. Cars, don't lease cars, buy used cars and then keep them for 7 to 10 years. I buy my cars at CarMax. They're great. It's an amazing service. You're usually buying a car coming off a lease, so it's 3 years old, significantly reduced purchase price. They have easy financing. Finance it for 5 years, keep it for 7 to 10 years. If you can buy the car outright and not finance it, I would do that. That's what I did with my last car, which is a 2017 Chrysler Pacifica. Last one I have is storage. If you have a storage facility, get rid of it if you absolutely don't need it. Most people put stuff in storage because they can't decide to get rid of it, but they don't want to deal with it, so they end up with a bunch of stuff in storage for years that they have never looked at in years, and they just keep paying it because they don't want to deal with it. I have clients that spend $500 a month on storage, and they haven't been to the storage facility in multiple years. Get rid of all the extra crap. If you can't fit it in your residence, you probably don't need it. Okay, so last question is, what are the best ways for beginning budgeters to lower their variable expenses? First, you need to know what your variable expenses are. The only way to know that is to track your spending in something like Quicken or, YNAB or whatever it is. Track your spending, know how much your expenditure is. That way you can look at it and see, where can I truly save? Usually it's going to be in the categories of restaurants, entertainment, kids' activities, that are excessive, various things. But once you know where you're spending excessive money on what I call discretionary categories, you can make a plan to reduce that. Eat out one less time a week, or know that you get $250 a month to eat out. Once you hit that, you stop eating out for the week. You have to have the knowledge in order to make a viable, legitimate plan to reduce your spending. All right, hope that helps. Go get them. Bye.